Hey guys, what's going on? Joshua Spence, MUFC here. And as we all know, it's the international break and Manchester United will not be playing for at least another week or so. So, I thought, I always want to produce new content and bring new content to my subscribers, to people that watch my videos. And I got some people to write me up a Manchester United tag, like, sort of question thing, where I answer questions related to Manchester United. So yeah, I think this video is a little bit different. It's nice to just sit here and talk with you guys and, go through questions and stuff. So I'm looking forward to this video and hopefully you are too. So this is the Manchester United tag. Okay, so the first question is my favourite overall Manchester United player. Well, I love all of them. Let's start with that. I love all of them, full stop. However, if you was to say pick one, I'd have to go with my idol. He's always been my idol ever since he's joined Manchester United. I've always based my footballing style around him whenever I used to play football, and whenever I still do play football, I still base my sort of style and my sort of football swagger around him, and that is Wayne Rooney. I think he's a phenomenal player, great leader, fantastic captain, and just a fantastic all-round player. Someone who, it's a pleasure to have at the club, and such ability. Ever since, he first joined, you could tell he was going to be a great player, and he's grown to be not only the captain of Manchester United, but one of Manchester United's most influential player over the years, and he is surely going to go on to become Manchester United's all-time leading top goal scorer and England's all-time top goal scorer. Okay, guys, so the next question is De Gea or Van der Sar at Manchester United. Whew. Well, I don't know. That's like asking me, do you prefer chicken or it's just like asking me my mum or my dad. That's what it's like asking me, because I love them both with everything. Like, they gave everything for the club. Van der Sar won the Champions League with us. He's won everything with us. The Premier League. I think he didn't win the FA Cup. However, he was such a monumental player when he was at the club. And but De Gea as well, he's been Manchester United's best player for the past 2 seasons, arguably. Kept us in so many games, and that is a really tough question, De Gea or Van der Sar. If I had to pick one, I just thinking Van der Sar saved it, United again. But then De Gea, it's a real tough one. Fuck it. Let's say David De Gea. No, let's say Van der Sar. No, I cannot choose. I love them both. Arguably United's 2 best goalkeepers ever, alongside Peter Schmeichel. Just 2 great goalkeepers. De Gea's got loads more to come in his career, hopefully at Manchester United. And Van der Sar, just was absolutely sensational for Manchester United. Next question is Ronaldo or Rooney at Manchester United? Why are people doing this to me? I'm going to go with Rooney. Okay, Ronaldo won everything with us, and he was World Player of the Year, and he helped us so much throughout his time with the club. However, Rooney's my idol, and okay, he might have asked for more money or threatened to leave or hand in transfer requests, but he's always been my idol. He's stuck around, and Manchester United have been better for it. If we got rid of Rooney 2 or 3 seasons ago to PSG or Chelsea, God knows what would have happened, because last season, as well as De Gea, he was one of our best players, Rooney. And yeah, I'm just going to say Rooney stood by the club. He's now the captain, and he's going to go on to become Manchester United's top goal scorer, as I said a little bit earlier on. Next question is opinion on the Munich Air disaster. Well, what can you say about this? It's tragic, absolutely tragic, and they made Manchester United what they are. These players, the Busby Babes, and the people who died for Manchester United, who it's tragic. It's absolutely, there's no words can explain how grateful and how much respect and love and passion. They've made Manchester United what they are today, and it's it's a piece of our history, and you know, too young to go, but you know, that's life and stuff. Opinions on it, just absolutely tragic. No words can explain what that done to Manchester United Football Club, and the way we just rose up and come back from it is sensational. But you know, them players should never be forgotten by any Manchester United fan. And each year when the air disaster anniversary comes around, we should all rightly pay our respects and salute the great players, that they were, and the legends that you know they will live on to be, even though they are not here no more. Next question is opinion on Moyes. Screen went black there, sorry. Next question is opinion on Moyes. What can you say? His time at Manchester United was absolutely shocking. We didn't even qualify for the Europa League. Okay, some say we might not have wanted it, but we didn't do anything. We just crossed. Every match. We never looked like winning any game going into it. We looked like we could have been beaten by any team. And that's not Manchester United. Manchester United strike fear into teams. Manchester United make other teams crumble in their boots. But under David Moyes, we just didn't have that fear factor. Our football wasn't great. And it was just an absolute monstrosity when he was at the club. So, I don't have a very good opinion on him. I do think he's a good manager, and I do think he will exceed at a less prestige club. However, David Moyes was not for Manchester United, and he was rightly sacked. Next question is, where will Manchester United finish this season? Well, we've got some big results lately, like I said in recent reviews, against Tottenham, against Liverpool. You know, they are massive results. And, you know, we would have been happy with a top 4 finish this season. But I do feel that we can get second. I mean, Man City are only 2 points ahead of us in the table, and it's not out of question. You know, we got Man City coming up in a few weeks. If we can do them, who's to stop us? You know what I mean? We just got to really keep going. You know, the season's not over yet. We've got 8 more games left to play. We've got to grind out these results. Really work for these results. Play every game like it's a final. And if we perform like we have against Tottenham and Liverpool, second is not out of question. Obviously, the league is too far out now. You know, 8 points. You'd have to be an absolute crazy optimist to think that the league was in touch. But second place is definitely foreseeable for Manchester United. Next question, is opinion on Giggs as assistant manager. You know, he's an all-round legend of the club. You know, it would have been sad to see him leave. Thankfully, Van Gaal has given him the chance to learn under him and take him under his wing and show him what it is like managing a big club as Manchester United is. So, you know, I think it will only do Ryan Giggs a world of good working under Van Gaal, because in the future he does look like he could be a Manchester United manager. There's no doubt about that. And so it's going to be a great learning experience. It's going to teach him loads. You know, Ryan Giggs already knows the day-to-day running of the club. He's been there for 20-odd years now or so. And yeah, I just think it can only be beneficial for Ryan Giggs to be under Van Gaal's wing and learning from him. And, you know, in a few years, potentially taking over Manchester United and keeping the legacy that was Fergie's, Van Gaal's, whatever. And keep Manchester United identity intact. Next question is opinion on Manchester United's current youngsters. Well, you know, we got a good academy. We had the class of '92 with the likes of Scholes, Giggs, Beckham, Neville, both Nevilles, and you know, our academy has always been up there with Europeans elite. You know, the likes of Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Ajax. Our academy has always been up there, and you know, we always have good crops of young players coming through. Obviously, some won't make the cut. As you know, academies have like 300 players, maybe even more on their roster. So not all of them are going to make it, but there is some good players. You know, we've brought through the likes of Adnan Januzaj, Paddy McNair, Jesse Lingard. There's also some good young players coming through like Andres Pereira, Tom Thorpe, you know, Blackett. So many young players that Manchester United can, you know, make into world-class players, and it's nice to see homegrown players come through. And hopefully, you know, it's in Manchester United's heritage to do that. So hopefully they can carry on bringing through these young players. And, yeah, just keep the club's identity going and the club's heritage rolling on. Next question is, top 3 possible players to buy for next season. Well, obviously we all know we've got defensive frailties at Manchester United currently. Even though our defensive record in the league is not too bad, so what does that say for other clubs who have got a worse defensive record than us? I think we've only got a worse defensive record than Chelsea at the moment, and they're top of the league. So that doesn't say too much wrong. I think his centre back's going to be a priority. Maybe another centre midfielder, and I'm not sure if we need 3 players. You know, maybe another winger to replace like Antonio Valencia, or a right back Nathaniel Klein. You know, Rafael and Valencia do look shaky at times, so I'll probably go with a centre back, a right back, and another centre mid for Manchester United, or maybe even another striker. Who knows? That's not up to me. That's for Van Gaal to deal with. You know, I don't really read transfer rumours, as you know, Manchester United will be rumoured with every single player over the summer, and you know, it just deludes our fans' head if we read these newspapers, because the papers write it because they need to sell their papers. At the end of the day, they need to sell their papers, so they'll put any old garbage in there, and people will actually believe it. So, you know, I don't really read into speculation. The only time I get excited about a player joining or potentially joining is when Manchester United or an official source like Sky Sports post it and say, you know, deal agreed, or player allowed to talk to Manchester United. Next question is opinion on Falcao's performance at Manchester United Football Club. It's been a rollercoaster ride. There's been moments where you think, wow, Falcao, world class. Like when he first joined, everyone was, yes, come on, Falcao, we've just signed one of the best strikers in European football, which we did. However, Falcao has been extremely disappointing to watch. 4 goals in something like 18 or 20 appearances or something like that. It's not good enough for the likes of Falcao. Whether he's lost his touch, whether he's still plagued by that injury he picked up and he hasn't got over that knee injury, because they can be career damaging injuries. However, if I could sum up Falcao's time at Manchester United so far, it would be disappointing and frustrating. So that's my opinion on Falcao. I still think he's got the world-class ability in him, but he just hasn't shown it of yet. And if Manchester United are going to sign him, which I don't think we will, I think Monaco are going to have to drastically drop their asking price, and Falcao is going to have to, you know, lower his asking price for wages for sure, because, you know, performing how he has done this season doesn't merit 300k a week or 250k a week. And Monaco asking for 40 mil, it doesn't merit. His performances do not merit 40 million worth of our cash. Favourite Manchester United formation is the next question. That's a tough one, because, you know, this one that we've got at the moment, I think it's a 4-3-3 or a 4-3-1-1. I think it might be that. You know, that seems to be working well, but Manchester United over the years has always been a 4-4-2 team under Sir Alex Ferguson, and I'll probably go with that, a 4-4-2. You know, just a flat 4-4-2. Manchester United had a lot of success with that over the years. You know, winning Champions League, FA Cups, Premier Leagues, Carling Cups, Capital One Cups, whatever you name it, Community Shields, we won it with the 4-4-2. I think that's best suited to English football. So yeah, I'll say the 4-4-2. Favourite MUFC starting XI. If we're talking currently, or I don't know what we're talking about. If we're talking currently, it's got to be the one that we got at the moment. You know, the likes of the one we've used in the last 2 matches, the unchanged team, because that's going great guns with that formation. If we're talking overall, you know, I'm not even going to go in and answer that question, because we'll be here all night. There's been so many great Manchester United players throughout the years, and I think it would be hard to pick 11. I'll need to spend time on that and do research on that to put a best 11 together. Well, my personal best 11. I'd have to spend quite a bit of time on that to give you an answer for that question. Next question is opinion on Valencia at right back. I don't think he's been terrible. That's what I'm gonna. I don't think he's been terrible. You know, he's made mistakes, but so has Jones at centre back, and that's his preferred position. So has nearly every player in Manchester United starting XI this season. No Manchester United player has been great up until this point. Obviously, last weekend, you know, it seemed to be a drastic improvement, and the weekend before that. However, no Manchester United player has been particularly great. You know, Valencia, he's not a right back. He is not a right back, no matter what people say. He is a right mid. He is an out-and-out right midfielder. Whether he's great in that position remains to be questioned. You know, he always seems to get to the byline and bang, hesitate. Not put a ball across, just stand there, boom, planted. Just flicking, and it comes to nothing. No end product. However, I do not think he's a right back, but I don't think he's terrible there. So yeah, I'll sit on the fence with that one. Next question is Manchester United's player of the season so far. That's easy. That is so easy to answer. That's probably the easiest question throughout this whole tag. It's got to be David De Gea. I mean, some of the saves he's made, some of the points he has won us, you know, what stands out right in front of me boldly is the Everton game earlier on in the season, where he made like 3 world-class, tremendous saves within the space of like, I don't know, 5 minutes. He also saved a penalty that game. He's made world-class saves throughout the season, which you wouldn't think is possible. And he's just an all-round great goalkeeper. Manchester United need to do all they can to get the boy signed down. Whether or not he's waiting on Champions League football or waiting to see Manchester United's plan for next season remains to be seen. But I do think we need to get David De Gea signed down on the dotted line, because he has the potential, and he is one of the greatest goalkeepers currently in world football. And, you know, Real Madrid won't have a problem paying 40 million for him. They'll take him every single day of the week for 40 million. So the sooner we get David De Gea tied down, the better, if you ask me. And the final question of this MUFC tag is opinion on David De Gea's improvement. I just think, you know, when he come to Manchester United as a young boy, when Fergie signed him, yes, he was shaky, but, you know, he could barely speak a word of English. He was young, and, you know, he was raw. But Fergie said in an interview with Claire Balding over Christmas, one thing that has, you know, made him proud of anything the most is David De Gea's improvement, his vast improvement. He said everything that I just said. You know, he was shaky at first. He made mistakes, but he had talent, and Fergie saw that. And Fergie, you know, we have to thank him for the purchase he made of David De Gea. You know, absolutely sensational. And the way he has improved at Manchester United has been, you know, nothing short of blinding. I don't want to use the same word, sensational, but it really has been amazing the way he has improved at Manchester United. And hopefully, like I said before, we can keep hold of him and really get him signed on to another contract, because if we lose him, we've lost one hell of a player, and he will be near enough impossible to replace. Anyway, guys, that is the end of this Manchester United tag. Thank you for watching. It's been nice doing something different for you guys. I've enjoyed making this, and hopefully the more to come in the future. I'm going to be featuring on some more channels within the next couple of weeks. You know, Devil's Bus TV have invited me back on, which is absolutely fabulous. You know, one of the biggest Manchester United fan channels, and one of my favourite Manchester United fan channels. So it's a pleasure to be doing videos for them. I'll also be on All Things Man United, previewing and reviewing upcoming games, and I'll constantly bring you Manchester United content, as well as preview reviews for myself. Yeah. So all that's left to say is, if you like this video, please leave a thumbs up. If you dislike this video, you know, feel free to leave a thumbs down. Leave a comment down below. Answer these questions for yourself. Other than that, thank you for watching, and I will see you in a few days, possibly, for the for another video. Let's not put a title on it. I'll see you again very shortly for more. Take care for now.